What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 11 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded King Louen campaign. So as we saw last time, we finally completed the quest for the Sword of Couronne. Wait, was this where the quest marker was, or was this just a convenient clearing? It was certainly around here. But anyway, we got the sword for Louen, which gives him a little bit in the way of buffs. It's not the strongest of these sword items, but at the very least the hex that it gives at a 45-second armor and melee defense reduction is pretty significant, and considering that we're stacking auras on the paladins, both buff and debuff, it should make for a pretty nasty little circle of Grail Knight death in the form of Louen and his paladins. Anyway, and more importantly than that perhaps is that the Fey Enchantress has been confederated and thus can no longer steal any confederations from us, and as well will be our second main army. I guess third if you count Adelard, but his army still ain't quite ready yet. Though I think we'll be using the wannabe knights and the other mounted yeomen in this army rather than the peasants. And I did want to show off what I wanted to do with these guys, so the Fey Enchantress, she's going to have peasant mobs and some battle pilgrims, some Grail Reliques, some Trebs, although these will be spread to her and to Adelard. And then the questing knights that we got from the Confederation are going to go to Louen, because I was going to build him a bunch of questing knights additionally anyway, so this actually worked out quite nicely for us. In terms of what we got to do this time around, well, there is Scarbrand to consider, and he is besieging us, and he will likely attack us. For those wondering, there have been a few comments about why I haven't really been using the Green Knight as yet. So currently we have 2 summons of him, and these summons will last about 20 turns. The thing is, I feel like the best use will be as soon as the endgame scenario activates, so in 10 turns, to rack up the undead kills and the XP, and well, lorefully accurate aspect of that will sort of be similar to the end times civil war in Bretonnia, though the less we talk about the end times the better, and nonetheless it'll make sense, especially the uprising at Mousillon of the Dead. We also have not summoned him. Another reason is that once you summon him, you can't use him on the battle map, so you may, the Green Knight will aid you when defending if not summoned, and he gets summoned, I believe, at your capital, so he'll get summoned at Couronne, and I think we'll want to summon him on field in the battle against Scarbrand here, so hopefully that will come in handy if we can make it happen. I don't think he lasts that long, defending for 120 seconds, yeah. Which ain't horrible. He can hopefully hold off Scarbrand for a little bit, although Scarbrand does deal magical damage, so all that ethereal physical resistance ain't gonna come in too handy. Anyway, we've got these guys, well, they can't really move right now, but more or less ready to go. Let's get a few names in here, since I didn't name anybody last time, and these armies are starting to get ready. Actually, speaking of names, I have a million knight names right now, and all the knight puns have been fantastic, but not a single person has suggested any Battle Pilgrim or Grail Relic or Trench Bucket names, so shame on... Actually, no, I think there was one Trebuchet name, but very few of those, so yeah, shame. I'll wag my finger at you. Anyway, let's name a few of the other things, shall we? The ones that we have names for. So you will be the Poxy... Poxy? How many X's? I don't know. 3 X's. Poxy Peasants, that's a 1. Peasant Mob.
I have seen your heart.
Okay, I make no promises about the peasants surviving. Any of the peasants named, you name them at your own risk, because if they die, they die. Alright, work your revolution for the peasant mob, which will be in the Fey Enchantress's army. Spears, Louen Splank Shield, the Expendables, and you shall be the Pavois de Viande Meat Shield. There we go. And let's see, anybody? Oh, wow, okay, yeah, we got these 3, so we can name them as well. They're not in combat yet, but, well, they will be. Can't name you Lances of Couronne because you don't have lances, so fair enough. How about the good knights? These guys will probably all be in Lewin's army until the end of the game, at least a decent amount of the questing knights will. I'm not yet entirely sure how many, but, you know. Okay, I don't know if this one will fit. The end is... Huh. Wait. Yeah, the end is 9, alright. Does this actually work? Oh, it does work. I didn't think that the parentheses actually work, because you can't put a full stop. They just disappear. Fascinating. Alright, and rename. Let's see, let's do one more. How about... Alright, I like this. Knights who... say... we. Perfect. Alright. And you know what, let's name a couple heroes while we're at it as well. I don't want to do too many more as I don't want to take up too much time. Matthias the Follower has already been named. Nathan, you will be renamed to... Let's see what we have here. Sir Algor. And then you will be renamed to Gaston of Couronne. Oh, I can't... Oh, wait, no, I can fit you. I can fit you. Unlike the units, the heroes and stuff have the ability to... Huh. Wait, did that work? Sir Algor, Gaston of Couronne? Yes, it did. Alright, and a couple more. You, because you have... Yes, you have the Justiciar skill, so you will be Shadowheart. Like so. And you can just sit in the mountains and get brainwashed. And then you will be... Pal Aladdin. Alright, I'm gonna have trouble saying Pal Aladdin because I've already been making a lot of the Paladin, Aladdin, whatever, puns. Anyway, okay, I think that's good enough, or else it's gonna be the entire episode. Let's get to ending the turn ASAP, and let's get to that battle with Scarbrand, shall we? Couronne, we're gonna need to upgrade you to tier 4 right now. And that'll be a lot of decent stuff. The Wasteland, we can ignore you. Fort Berg-Bray, Tor-Akar. We should probably sell you out, but I can do it next turn so I don't take the time. Tex. What do we do with Tex? We should probably head towards the Heraldry of Bordelot. Although there's some really decent stuff here. There is a plus to control thing here in Charity, but at 13 turns, it's fairly steep. This would take us 16 turns. And if we do that first, it might be too late into the game. Yeah, I think we'll have to, oh, Louen Leoncoeur right here. Oh, go figure. We can make an alliance with them. We can't trade with them, but at least we can go non-aggression. Yeah, alright. Why not? Keep it friendly. Makes sense to me. And we'll ignore Safari, and I think we'll ignore... We could do defensive alliances with the various Wood Elves and stuff. Just defensive. I don't think the Empire would attack the Wood Elves. I think the Wood Elves would attack the Empire. But they're unlikely to be attacked and thus draw us into the same conflict, right? You better not screw me on this game. Balance for defensive alliance, go. Don't screw me on this, Talzin. And Arguelon, do we want to do the same thing with you? I really do not trust Durthu, but, well. Let's hope this doesn't come back to bite us. Alright, hopefully the defensive alliances with them will actually make the other Imperials friendlier with them, and just by virtue of the fact that they have an alliance with us and the Imperials like us at the current time. The rest I think we'll ignore. I'm not so sure about Lorelorn, mostly because the Scaling have a tendency to declare war on them, and while we're currently in a peace of sorts with the Scaling, maybe we'll just leave them alone. Alright, you guys, you should also probably all move this way. And get a little bit closer to Avril, where we can continue your armies. Oh, I should have probably had you channel instead. Whatever.
Making my way.
Alright. And yes, we've obviously lost a lot of gold per turn in order to make these armies, but hopefully we'll counteract it shortly. Alright, now we're good to go. Let's skip. Outpost available with Arguelon. Bristol Valley, Carrick Asgaraz. I mean, Carrick Norn is a decent position. 2k. I mean, it's better oh, but it's still gonna be an outpost. It's just not defensible. It really depends on if they declare war on anybody. I'd really rather do an outpost with the... Yeah, let's do one inside the Oak of Ages. I mean, we have one... This is perfect. We have one in the Shrine of Assyrian. We have one in the... we will have one in the Shrine of Cain, and then we have one in the Great Oak. Alright. Keeping an eye on all the elves. You know what, let's just do the one at the Shrine of Cain as well. Screw it, I know it costs money, but why not? Alright. Good enough for now. Outpost available, skip, and end the turn, Scarbrand. Let's see if you're willing to fight us now. And then we can summon the Green Knight when in battle. There it is. And close defeat. Oh, would you look at that? He has Khorne's Bloody Fist, the first tier 5 unit that we're going to have to contend with here. Scarbrand and Khorne's Bloody Fist. Damn. Those two alone could be very, very difficult to deal with here, and I don't think that the Green Knight can deal with them in 120 seconds, that's for sure. Alright, let's see if we can pull this off. Here we go, defend against Scarbrand or die. Alrighty, here we go. Can we pull this off? I don't know. It's gonna be interesting if nothing else. So these three are gonna be waiting and hopefully holding back Scarbrand or the other Bloodthirster, but, well, the troops are gonna have plenty of a tough time as well. On top of that, the basic towers and regular units of missile infantry and SFO aren't really capable of bringing towers down. You can see that this tower has 99% HP remaining, and, well, that's not going to change much despite 2 of the main 4 towers firing at it, and the field trebs as well. We can see. So the siege towers, once built, are going to reach the walls, and oh yeah, Khorne towers looking pretty great, actually. Huh. You know, I haven't seen the Khorne towers a lot. Granted, I haven't fought in the Badlands a lot in many campaigns, so that's hardly surprising, but kind of interested to see them. Anyway, let's take a quick look at what we've got set up here. So, we have the enemy assaulting us from 3 directions. They have siege towers of 3 here, and siege towers 3 here, so that's at least 3 units that are going to get on top of the walls, and the stat disparity in between, well, the peasant mobs obviously, but the men-at-arms as well, and either the Chaos Warriors of Khorne, who are at 61-64 with 121 armor, 120 armor, and 78 weapon strength, versus a men-at-arms melee attack 41. Yeah, you're not going to be able to really even harm that particular unit, and goes without saying, but the peasant mobs with their 15 and 20 may as well be zombies or Skaven slaves. So, whether we can hold this off, well, remains to be seen. We do have 2 towers set up over on this side of the map, and one of them is an explosive tower, so at the very least up here, we should be able to hold the enemy off, as the Holy Wardens of the Maison Tal are unbreakable, and these Battle Pilgrims will hopefully hold the ground up here long enough for the towers to destroy any of those units in the towers, as in our towers to destroy the enemy siege tower units. But anyway, I digress. Here comes the first of the enemies, the Khorne's Bloody Fist and Bloodthirster, taking a little bit of damage from our peasant bowmen, but really not all that much. And it's a tier 5 unit, and just like, well, I guess Scarbrand can also be considered a tier 5 unit, as there is no such thing as tier 6 units, even though he probably should be. Alright, and he is going to start going after all those, well, not he, Scarbrand, but the Bloodthirster is going to start going after all of those poor peasant bows, and they have absolutely no chance at doing anything here. We do send our single paladin that's a flyer up here to help deal with this. Obviously, the other 2 paladins don't have flying mounts and are thus relegated to standing. I'm like, oh, that was a nice shot. You gotta love watching Bloodthirsters fight, though. It is always nice and entertaining. Anyway, we'll see how well we can take care of Khorne's Bloody Fist with the unit that is best specialized here to take him down. The Beast Slayers of Baston. They're anti-large, they've got fairly decent weapon strength, especially for a peasant unit, and hopefully together with the Paladin, they can bring the big boy down. And it looks like they are starting to do damage, so there is that. Also, I love the lighting in this particular map. We're getting some awesome shots of the big boy and doing his thing, and I'm sure we'll be seeing Scarby shortly. Of course, Scarbrand can't fly, so at least he can't lend his axe to the fight here. Out or over on this side, we have a peasant mob moving out, and we're going to send them to just annoy the enemy bloodletters as they try to climb the walls. I also notice, that they use Imperial ladders. Interesting. And they never programmed unique ladders for the demons. That's a little bit disappointing. I know that we noticed earlier that the Bretonnians have unique ladders, but this appears to just be standard Imperial ladders. You'd think they have, just make it a ladder made of bone. Would it have been that hard? You could even reuse the bone ladders for probably any of the demons. It would make sense, especially the bone ladders would also fit with this chittering pile of skulls below the Khorne siege towers. But I digress. So that battle has not yet begun and these towers are still moving. Let's get back to Big Boy over here. Also, while we try to bring Big Boy down, successful or not, I think we can do another sort of threshold thing. So if we get, what was it again? 300 likes and 40 comments on this particular episode, I'll do 2 on Saturday. Once again, just like last Saturday. And hopefully without any delay. Alrighty, so keep that in mind if you're interested in that sort of thing. How you doing there? Down to half HP and has killed 40 of our peasants, but we're looking like we're going to be able to make it through that blob of HP. That said, this is just the opener. There's still Scarbrand to kill, who is much more frightening than Khorne's Bloody Fist, and then all of these units. Those Chaos Warriors of Khorne are going to make it through as the ram brings down that gate with the one more hit, and then we'll have bloodletters and hounds and whatnot to contend with. Over on this side, it looks like the enemy towers have begun to disgorge their warriors atop the walls, wherein our peasants, our men-at-arms, and our peasant mobs will have absolutely no chance at dealing with the Chaos Warriors of Khorne. Although the latter will have fun time slaughtering them, and because of their extremely heavy armor, these guys are, well, not invulnerable, but they will take almost no damage from the peasant bowmen with fire arrows, as the latter has only 1 armor-piercing damage. Decent against the bloodletters, but basically useless against the Chaos Warriors of Khorne. On the bright side, you can see some damage on this unit, as while the towers were able to reach us, the unit of trebuchets can fire into the blobs as long as the enemy is distracted like this. So, we're gonna hope that we can do enough damage with the trebuchets, both to the enemy and to our peasants, but just simply out-damage them and out-hold them. Whether it succeeds remains to be seen. Over on this side, it looks like the Khorne's Bloody Fist is nearly done for. This paladin and the Beast Slayers of Baston have nearly lived up to their name. Alright, and how are these guys doing? They're pretty okay, actually. And just over half HP. And there we go, you're starting on your banishment, and down you go. One bloodthirster down, and now one much bigger and angrier bloodthirster to go. And the Khornate hounds are moving on in, and we can see the corpses of both them and the peasants below, but they are merely the vanguard as the Chaos Warriors of Khorne start streaming into the city as well. Another paladin will guard the place together with our lord, wherever the heck he is, somewhere around here. Oh, he's right there. He doesn't have the glowing sword. Huh, interesting. The Lord doesn't have the glowing sword? I guess he's not a paladin yet. Well, either way, here comes, or not a Grail Knight, here comes Scarbrand, and this is gonna take some effort. Oh, it's a glorious shot, though. I still have not played as Scarbrand. gonna be fun to do whenever I get to it, or whenever you guys end up voting it. I do love using the forces of Couronne in general. The melee stuff is always real fun. Anyway, Scarbrand's gonna take some time to bring down, and the cooldown, the starting cooldown on the Green Knight is 240 seconds, which means actually he should be summonable any second, and we'll have him face off against Scarby back there. And as to whether it succeeds or not will also remain to be seen. Alright, and in the meantime, let's check back on what's going on with the rest of the battle. Very nice siege, if nothing else, defensive siege. Looks like the towers decided not to move over on this side, but instead looped around and are going on this wall. I'm not entirely sure why, because they're not out of range of the towers, and the explosive towers should hopefully still be able to bring them down. It'll be up to the wardens of, or the holy wardens, I should say, of La Maison Tal and this little peasant mob to hold the enemy in place. Alright, good luck to all of you. And checking back what's going on here with Scarby. There he is. Still a wrecking face as he likes to do, and he does have a little friend here in the form of a Blood Reaper. Alright, and I fear that the Beast Slayers are certainly not going to be able to slay Scarbrand or hold him back. On the bright side, though, we do have some peasants working away at him, and, well, he has lost about a quarter of his HP, so still doing some damage. On the less bright side, if we take a look, our Lord Kedrick, or Cedric rather, has about a third of his HP remaining, and I think one of the paladins got really badly beat up there as well. Yeah, down to about half HP. Alright, it's up to you, Green Knight. This is your first defensive summoning, and if we summon you after this onto the campaign map, perhaps the only time we summon you defensively, take on Scarbrand if you can. It's a glorious charge. Here comes the Pegasus as well. Man, you get some great shots with the slow-mo, don't you? Once again, the lighting on this map is really doing it for me. Alright, well, he's working through our Beast Slayers and the Men-at-Arms who just trying to hold back that force of Chaos Warriors. On the bright side, though, while he's distracted, perhaps the Green Knight can whack away at this Blood Reaper instead. And the damage is sufficient by the looks of it to bring the Blood Reaper down. Alrighty, well done to you, Green Knight, or Gilles. And here comes Scarbrand return. He's upset about the death of his friend, or maybe he's... Oh, nice throw with the axes. Or maybe he's just... maybe he's just angry that such a weakling was in his force. Alright, and there it is, Green Knight versus Scarbrand. What we all, I'd like to think, came here to see a few of those poxy arrows hitting Scarbrand, who is now below half HP, but the Green Knight is down to about a quarter. Scarby hits so hard at 1.1k damage. The Green Knight certainly did a little bit of damage, but even with the Dolorous Blade up and running, it looks like it's not going to be enough. Another hit or two and Scarbrand will be able to bring him down. Yeah, fighting the demons is unfortunately not the greatest for him, because that ethereal is not working, and down goes the Green Knight. That said, we have to remember that the Green Knight is immortal, just completely immortal. Every time he dies, he simply rises again from the lake. So you can kill him 1,000,000 times, and he'll just keep on rising. So from a loreful perspective, this doesn't matter at all. And realistically, he should just come right back. But it's okay. He certainly did a decent, well, a bit of damage to Scarbrand. He had a decent amount of damage to Scarbrand. Yeah, we just have to bring him down. We did have 1 unit of Knights Errant waiting in the background who were in the center, and I was going to use them to apply themselves wherever they were needed most, and it looks like where Scarbrand is where most they, or is where they will most be needed. Up here, the walls have been cleared of our peasants and our men-at-arms, and the enemy Bloodletters and Chaos Warriors are now mowing down, or beginning to mow down the peasant bows, but it looks like the trebuchets have done their work, and most of the enemy units are dead or nearly dead. Scarbrand is beginning to be banished, as well as the paladins once more charge into the fray together with the Knights Errant, and the bows continue to fire on Scarbrand from 3 separate directions. Alright, bit of a long battle, this one. but a nice one I'd like to think. And finally, Scarbrand succumbs to fire from 3 units of bows that were all situated around this little killing zone. With Scarbrand down, it looks like the rest of his warriors are unable to take heart, and they will give up on the siege. Over on this side, they failed completely because of the tier 4 explosive tower that we built here that simply commanded this entire wall. And then over here, they mostly failed because of the field trebuchets, although it was very, very close with all of our melee units, and destroyed, and only I think one of the men-at-arms units having rallied. Just gotta wait a few seconds while the last of the enemy bloodletters get ripped apart by arrows and stones from the trebuchet, if any of them hit. And there we go. And with that, the battle will be ours. Can't even bring down that Chaos War Shrine. Ow! This is a Cultist of Couronne on the War Shrine. Not just the War Shrine. Alright. I did try to have the peasants focus down the shrine first, but as soon as Scarby made his way into the fray, we had to prioritize him for obvious reasons. And he came close, look at this. And this is all Scarbrand's damage. So the paladin, both paladins, and the lord got down to barely any HP remaining. I didn't even see where, okay, this guy has a little bit of under half, and then these two have about 15%. So, and that on top of killing a bunch of stuff and knocking out the Green Knight temporarily. Anyway, well done Scarby, but not well done enough. We're gonna chase the rest of the units as best we can, but I'll do it off screen. Ooh, there we go. Pyrrhic victory, and an uncomfortably close one at that, but at the end of the day, a win's a win, and looks like we survive here. Scarbrand goes down, dealt 21k damage, very respectable, and he did knock out the Green Knight as well, so yeah, and don't underestimate Big Angry Boy. And a few units survive, we should be able to chase them down though. Let us take the money this time around, because Cedric here will not have any debuffs from this, I would imagine, because we've never done it before with that particular lord. Mother Ostankia, not yet on the defensive alliance. Just keep getting friendlier with the high elves, and oh, would you look at that, another another corn stack. Okay, we'll see what's in that one. Carl, you want what? Us to join war against the Fecundites. Now you just keep fighting the Fecundites. I mean, we could, I guess. I'll think about it. There may be reason to try to get Durthu into a fight with them, as long as they're weak. Gilgallion wants a defensive alliance. No, there's no need for it. Safari, no need for it. Neither one of the weaker High Elven factions in Marienburg, neither you. Everybody wants a defensive alliance today. What the heck is this? Lower Lorne will probably do yours, but in a little bit, I think. And just wait for it, Laura Lorne. We can't protect our northern shores right now, and I'd rather not have to. Alright, enemy killed in battle, defeated Scarbrand, weapon strength +5, own armies faction-wide in enemy territory? You gotta be kidding me. Scarbrand has a faction-wide buff? That's crazy. Why is Grom the Paunch's buff so atrocious? Oh well. Campaign movement range bonus for Lulu. Barded Warhorse. Yeah, okay, that's great. Ally begins outpost construction. It's great for allies. And we live to fight another day. Though this is another stack, at least it won't have Scarbrand in it. We will probably need to build more to continue defending, and I guess we need more archers. We actually a little bit ran out of melee units there. I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that if we build too much, they'll just ignore Al-Haik and go for Fyrus instead, which would be worse, and I really don't want to risk that. But at the same time, we also don't know what's in the army, and we don't want to risk losing Al-Haik. Fyrus can be reclaimed, as long as Raponce comes back. Alright, let's do one more peasant bow, and then 2 more peasant mobs, or is that too much? Hopefully they don't really recognize the peasant mobs as enough of a threat for us to be concerned with. And oh, this guy is alive, but we're not gonna chase him down. I think he's moved too far and we can't abandon Al Haik now. Alrighty. Looks, well, maybe not good, it looks okay. Louen Leoncoeur, you guys... If you'd be able to catch Sloppy Crookshank here, that would be swell. It might actually be worth a fight, but what we want to do first is this. You... No, you. Esther. You have to win a battle at sea. And just to double check, your vow is to win a battle at sea as well. Good. So, Louen, you're going to transfer the entire army to Esther, just for a second. Like so. Minus 995. Esther, you're going to quickly auto-resolve this.
My lady calls.
And explore the island, and auto-resolve this garbage. A little bit of damage, and, well, we won't have debuffs, so ransom captives as well for the money. Alright, then, Lulu, you're gonna reclaim your army. Vow completed, vow completed, vow completed, vow completed, troth completed, and curse to slit. Good. And let's reclaim all of this. And see, we can still reach Sloppy Crookshanks, but I fear, Crookshank rather, but I fear he might be able to run too far. On the other hand, if he runs too far from Louen, he might not be able to run too far from Esther. Might be able to kill him as well. Alright, fantastic. Let's do the rest of the turn and then we'll attack him. Not that I think it's super necessary. Oh, what we do want to do is do all the new vows slash troths. So for the Grail vow, which will... Wait, Grail vow gives you magical attacks? Paladins automatically have magic attacks. I mean, great, but not super useful. The Blessing of the Lady, however. Anyway, pledge to destroy, raise 5 major settlements. No, that's not going to happen. Kill 5 enemy lords in battle, much easier. And defeat a legendary lord of Warriors of Chaos, Demons of Chaos, Skaven vampire counts. You know what? Pledge to Valor, kill 5 enemy lords in battle is the easiest one because it's essentially a guarantee. It'll take longer than the defeat a legendary lord one, but, you know, if the legendary lords manage to escape us, then this is much safer. So everybody pledge to Valor, please. Kill 5 enemy lords in battle, and then one of you had that as well, and I immediately forgot whom. It was you, Esther, yes? Yeah. We could pledge you to Valor, I guess. Let's pledge you to Valor. I mean, honestly, the followers, troths, and stuff don't really matter. They're just going to sit in our settlements, so not super relevant, but, you know. Alrighty, Cassian, you are supposed to go to Louen. And you're supposed to do various things with that. I mean, I was gonna build you a Knight of the Realm, but at the same time, maybe we just send you out there. Let's just go. Let's go for now. You're gonna go here. Avril Mercier, you are gonna go right there near Castle Baston. And you're going to transfer those units that you finally need. You are going to switch to channeling stance. You are going to switch to channeling stance. And you're all in channeling stance. Fantastic. You're not, but you don't need to be. Alright, Fey Enchantress. I would like you to take 2 Trebs, 2 Grail Relics, all 4 Peasant Mobs, and all 4 Battle Pilgrims, like so. And we'll fill up the rest of the army with 1 more Paladin, and a couple more Knights Errant. The Knights Errant are here as placeholders. They will eventually be replaced with the Grail Knights and Grail Guardians as the Fey Enchantress buffs them, but obviously we don't have that at the current time. Then, Adelard, you need 1 Grail Relic and 2 Trebuchets. You're a little bit too range heavy, or at the very least too, might want to replace a couple of these with a couple more Knights of the Realm. Yeah, that's probably going to be necessary, or else it'll be a little bit iffy, but we'll deal with it later. Alright, Fey Enchantress, you just need your 3 Knights, which are 2 Knights, which are going to come from Cassian trading, and you did not move far enough. Move further. Thank you, and we got 9 turns. Okay, that should give us enough time to get to the Galleon's Graveyard, raise it, destroy it, and then return, or right back to Lyonesse, or to Mousillon, rather, for the endgame scenario, and to Blackstone Post, while these guys, well, will probably hold Blackstone against the, against Kemmler. If we could get the defeat trait of Kemmler on the Fey Enchantress, that would be nice as well. Alright, any of you actually need to move? Oh. This army is just for now going to essentially be a follower army, as in it'll follow the Fey Enchantress around, as her army is at the current time probably going to be a little bit too weak.
the wind.
Too many peasant mobs and stuff.
Yes.
Even with their plus 40 melee attack, they're still not gonna be doing too much damage. So you guys just stay there. We'll deal with you in a second. Build the buildings and stuff as well. Esther, I just double checking everybody. Oh, speaking of double checking, diplomacy. Quick save. We got followers of Nagash. You really want that? You really want that non-aggression pack, but we will probably still destroy you. I'll have to think about that, though. We may want to temporarily do it while we fight the endgame scenario, because Manfred is going to be an issue down here. Any military alliances straight up that we want to do? No, I don't think so. I think the rest of this is fine as it is. Don't want to lean too heavily into it, even if we do want to create alliances, like blocks. We have one more turn, I believe, of the massive control, but oh, it's already gone. No, we do not have one more turn of the control bonus, but it is what it is. Marches of Couronne, you're still good. Forest of Arden, you're at -5. With the Peasant's Duty up, so the Venerate the Lady will counteract that just fine. Castle Baston, you have all the lords in your vicinity, though they're only providing a +1 to public order. What the heck? Look at that. All of this, well, I guess we'd have to send one of them into the settlement, and we're not going to do that right now, so yeah. Either way, Castle Baston, you are kind of in the center of things, which means we want you to do a lot of this. Income from adjacent buildings, and we'll want to build the windmill here, and we'll want to build the brothel here. Lots of additional public order bonuses. Next up, Adelan Mountains. We already have the Vulture Mountain rather. We already have the water wheel here. Let's continue building up the brothel, and everything else is okay. Carcassonne, you need the dye makers, presumably. We could also go for defenses here. Nah, but I think if the Skaven or these guys come for us, they'll probably bypass Carcassonne and go for Brionne, which means we'll need defenses at Brionne. A little bit still concerned about Carcassonne falling, but I'm just gonna hope that it won't. Let's do the Cinnabar mining pit there. And here I guess we'll get the salt, which means this place won't be generating a lot of cash, but well, you can't rely on Bretonia's territories generating a lot of cash in the first place, so it's hardly surprising. You, farm please, and River Brienne. That's nice to actually build stuff up. Ah, yes, Bordelot. All the investment into Bordelot we can. Paravon, most definitely get the stone cutter to reduce the construction cost in the entire province. Quenelle will get the livestock pens, and this will probably be our... It's going to be one of our military hubs, because we have both the pastures and the stone cutter and the Paravon stables, or the peaks of Paravon here, so any kind of knight can be built here with bonuses. Quenelle, though... what do we build here? I mean, we'll still probably want to get the growth, so we're still looking to build the fields. Yeah. It's not like we're gonna ignore that, and I believe that's it. Barrow of Quila, we don't care about you right now. You can... Do we keep you in Peasant's Duty, or do we start Venerate the Lady on you? I don't know. Either one. Either one is fine. And what we do want to do is this. Torcarali, or you, generally, Vress, Misnar. How much is it worth to you now? 4.4k. Alright, getting better. And then what about Torcar for you?
Welcome to the court of the Everqueen.
4.8k. I think we could do slightly better. They're not losing public order anymore, so I think we can wait a little bit. I mean, that's an easy 10k that we can bank from them right now, but they should get richer and richer. And now I think we're good, which means... Louen, we're going to level you up, and we're going to head directly to Sloppy Crookshank. Let's get you Foe Seeker, my friend, though we should start going through the Guardians of the Lady as well. And let's level up the Paladins. You have the Blessing of the Lady and Self-Centered. We could get Scarred Vet, or we could start going through these. Weapon Strength, one attack, and plus 25% make you hit even harder, but they're still not unit killers. They don't have the splash damage for it. They're single entity killers, which is a bit different. I think I'm gonna go Scarred Vet for you. And you can get the Blessing of the Lady as well, like so. Max that out. You can get the... Huh. These guys reorder themselves. Interesting. Alright, you do not have True Hero Bretonia. And let's go Self-Centered. Blessing of the Lady, and then Blinding Majesty. Next turn, lastly, Sophia. You have Earthblood maxed out. I guess it's time for probably Shield of Thorns, or we could just go through Evasion in order to get Regrowth in the Dweller's Bill. Yeah, you know what? I'd like to get the... Oh, wait. Our mana's still basically non-existent. Yeah, just get Evasion. It doesn't matter what we get here, because we'll not really be using either one all that much. Anyway, Louen, attack. Attack Sloppy. Yeah. I mean, while we're here, right? We can always heal up in Elven territory. And... Oh! While I screwed up, I was expecting him to run. That's why I didn't move the other units in. But he didn't run. Damn it, man. What are you doing? Okay, well, too bad. War Banner on... I don't know, doesn't really matter right now. Errantry Banner... I don't know, I'll put the Errantry Banner on you, actually. Errantry Banner here. Then we'll go Gleaming Pennant on you, and War Banner on you. I'm gonna have to reorder those in a little bit, so let's do a Skaven fight.
Glory to Bretonnia!
Alrighty, Sloppy Crookshank, you screwed me on the XP, but, well, we're gonna screw you on the battlefield. Not in a good way. So here we go. For once, I've learned my lesson, and I have separated Louen and his 3 paladins, all of which are going to attack different targets, rather than staying together as they normally do, such that the Grey Seer can't hit us all with that damn Howling Warp Gale. And it is such a cheap spell. It's one of those spells where it's basically useless for 95% of any campaign, and then suddenly, in a few battles, it just completely carries the day. I think especially... I don't remember if it's when overcharged or overcast or not, but I think you can get about 100% uptime on it, and it's so cheap that, yeah, you can really screw some flyers over. I think in one of my very ancient campaigns, I don't remember if I had actually uploaded this one, I had a Dark Elf army with a follower army, a second army full of nothing but harpies, and they got hit, like the entire blob of harpies basically got hit by Howling Warp Gales repeatedly, and they all basically died in the air. It was so obnoxious. And then I never built a follower army of nothing but harpies after that. Well, actually I did in my Malekith campaign, but that was more of a follower flying army in general. Anyway, I digress. Here come the knights as the paladins distract the enemy key units like those warp lightnings and other such things that could have actually been a threat to the knights, and we've punted the dead, we've punted the greenskin, and now we punt the rat. Charging right through the line of enemy clan rats, right into their back line, and after those high-value targets. Starting to bring down the enemy warp lightning cannons, and frankly, this army should be weak enough for us not to be really concerned with cycle charging. The various units of knights should just be able to take care of business as they please. Ruinous is stuck by himself up in the air, and due to that Howling Warp Gale, though he can at least land and contribute to the fight a little bit. By the looks of it, this is most definitely going to be a short one, as the balance of power has already shifted to about 90% in our favor. Most of the enemy army is already routing, and it's just a matter of killing Sloppy himself, as well as whatever other units have not yet shattered. And yeah, Louen's still stuck. Oh, damn you, Howling Warp Gale. Alright, a few Clan-Ashen units back here. But fortunately, the lances and the great swords will force them to run fairly quickly, and I do believe... Oh, no, we still have a Doom Wheel up and running, but not to worry, we can surround it with Louen's lions, and, well, stick a few lances into those spokes, prevent it from moving, and then rip it apart. Or, you should really kill the pump rat on the back, as somebody dubbed it in my Ikit campaign. Alrighty, and there we go. With that, the Doom Wheel shatters at about a third of its HP, though I'm sure we'll be able to bring it down. Sloppy is either running at... yeah, he's just running away, but the battle's ours. Alright, easy enough, no problem at all. Stark contrast to the battle with Scarbrand, but still fun to see the knights and just do a little melee rather than directly cycle charging repeatedly. Anyway, we'll do the chase off screen as usual. Alrighty, obviously not a difficult battle by any means. We just managed to miss out on the XP, or the bonus XP for our other units, because I really didn't think that they would stand and fight. I really thought that they would retreat. I'd love to get the money, but once again, I don't know what that negative trait is, so probably better off not risking it. On Louen in particular, since he's our main army. Man, I wonder what it is. Well, we'll eventually get it on one of our other lords, and then we'll know. Let's get you execute captives for now. It's the more chivalrous thing to do. And you now you can't reach the army. This is where I thought we'd be fighting it, for these two to be able to reach it. But oh well. You're gonna move into march stance right here, and I just realized something. I should have canceled you. Heraldry of Aquitaine before fighting, and what I should have done was summon the Companions of Quinnell in Cassion's army. Alright, we'll have to maybe get another Knight of the Realm and then summon those and then get them to Louen somehow. Anyway, Esther, go after Transform and take that army out real quick. Like so. Auto-resolve. I assume nobody will die due to auto-resolve shenanigans. At least I hope not. And now we're okay. Free Berserker Sword, and we can probably turn it into something more useful. Not for you. There we go. And ow! You have a Bailiff. We'll give that to somebody else who's in an actual territory right now. Alright, Great Point Scuttler is destroyed, which is lovely. Though we didn't get the student out of that, but I guess you probably didn't level up either. Anyway, with that, I do believe we have moved everybody who needs to move right now. And unless there's a... should I just upgrade you? 3.6k. It's still steep considering we're making no money per turn. Now I think we can end the turn like this and see what we can see. Back to Heraldry of Aquitaine. Should have done that at the start of the turn. And Louen, you can't move any further, but that's okay. I do wonder whether it would be better to land briefly before heading out to the Maelstrom. Slash the Galleon's Graveyard, as we are a little bit damaged. It really depends. If there's a 2-stack there, it's gonna be, well, it's gonna cause some issues. On the other hand, we don't really have any turns to spare. Either way, skip, unassign, skill points, outpost, yada yada yada, and turn. I see that Scarbrand's second army has not yet landed at the very least, since they didn't do anything, and there it is. Ikit Claw is going to declare war on us, which means we're sending Adelard south to defend Castle Carcassonne. Call your allies to help. Iffy. Very, very iffy. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather them not break off their alliances because they're afraid of Ikit Claw, and frankly, it should be easy to get the Wood Elves to fight Ikit Claw anyway, and I'd rather not break off alliances, as I said. Alrighty, looks like nobody attacked us, and we're ready for duty again, which means we... oh, would you look at that. They're moving through their territory. This seems like a very solid time to get Ryan and Durthu and whatever Wood Elves we can to try to attack them. But yeah, we're definitely gonna need to send armies down here. Yeah, alright. Things are getting interesting, and it's annoying that we'll have to continue fighting the Skaven with their damn... with that damn howling warp gale that locks our paladins in their tracks. Anyway, with that, we're out of time. I'm gonna get all the episode here. Next time, hopefully, we'll reach the Galleon's Graveyard and destroy it for good with Louen, while these guys separate to defend the Blackstone Post and to defend against the Skaven incursions. Stay tuned for more loot. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.